Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. Today's project is this really beautiful and very good size actually gift box, which is decorated using the Paisleys and Posies stamp set from Stampin' Up, which is available to buy now in the new autumn winter catalogue. This whole decorated panel is completely hand stamped, and I'll show you how I did that in a little while. If you open the box, however, it gets even prettier, I think, because the whole inside of the box is also lined using that gorgeous printed paper that we will make ourselves. So, before I babble on for too long, let me tie this back up and then I will show you exactly how to make it. Remember, if you'd like to buy any of the tools, stamp sets, etc. that I use in the video, I am a demonstrator. So pop on over to craftycarolinecreates.com and you can buy everything that I'm using online via my website. So let's show you how we made it. I'm going to start by showing you how I made this beautiful printed panel. Now, whenever I normally do demonstrations, most of my projects use very random patterns to make this sort of DSP look, but this one, for this project, I've actually purposely made a very repetitive pattern. And the way I do that is to start with a piece of, this is very vanilla cardstock. It measures 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. All of the measurements I'm going to talk about today will be on my website, so do pop over there, craftycarolinecreates.com, if you miss any in the video. This one is made using sweet sugar plum. I thought for the one we're going to make today, we'd use another of the in colours. This is Dapper Denim. What you need to do is decide on which of the stamps, the images you want to use to create your pattern, and you just need to get them out of the packet. So we're going to use this big medallion, we're going to use the little flower, this little leaf. Now you can see the ones I've used as they're stained. This is a lovely set. Everybody, when it first came out, a lot of people were saying to me, oh, it's right up your street, I can't wait to see you use it. I must admit it wasn't on my wish list to begin with. I think some of the sentiments put me off, like this one, I thank you for your part in my journey. I could never really see me using that. I think that's what put me off initially, but you know, these images are absolutely gorgeous, so I didn't resist for very long. It does also have some matching framelits to make cutting these out super easy. Now what we need to do is we just need to use your grid paper to help you. Oh, if my camera doesn't fall over. Use my grid paper to help you just build up the sort of image that you want to stamp. Okay, I can look on the one I did earlier to see how I fitted everything in. Okay. Like that. And then this last one fitted in that little gap. Just something like that. I think that's about right. Then come in with your clear block. This is clear block H, and I'm just going to use that to pick up my stamps like that, okay? And then you just need to start by inking them up. Nicely inked up. I'm going to use a foam mat, as these are photopolymer. Just pop that underneath there like that. Okay. And then the first thing you are going to do is just stamp that down. Just going to line that up with the edge, the block with the edge of my paper, like that. And then you're just going to do it again. Just going to grab a base. Actually, what's best to do is if you just slide this under my mat, under the grid paper. Will help in a moment. Okay, and then again, just move along a little bit, and again line the block up with the edge of your paper and stamp down, okay? And then we've got our first little row of repetition. Now I know this block is, this pattern is 1.5 inches wide, which is 6 little lines on my graph paper. So what I'm then going to do is, oh, if I can do it without knocking my camera, is move up, count up 6 little lines on my graph paper, and then use that to line up the bottom of my stamp. And I'm just going to move the pattern over slightly, just like this. So we're going to put the large medallion right over the flower, And again, line the bottom of my block up with 6 lines up, and then stamp that down like that, and you can see the pattern has shifted. Okay, then you might need to use a piece of scrap card or something at this point to keep going along those 6 lines later, which I know is there. I'm just going to put that up, put that there. Okay, and then when I move along a little bit more and line the bottom of my block up again, press down, and again you can see that pattern then continues nicely along, and you just need to keep repeating that method over and over again to fill all of your cardstock. Now, rather than do that on camera, which will take a little bit of time, you can see that I have done one piece there. So this is the bit that's going to go on my lid, and I've also taken another piece of cardstock. This one measures 7 15/16 by 5 3/16 of an inch. That's just to make sure that it fits nicely inside our box in a minute when we make that. So you can see how repeating that action over and over again gives you that really beautiful repetitive DSP look, rather than sort of the random pattern that I have done before. So let's use those and we will start making up our box. So this bit is all obviously ready to go. That's the bit that's going to go on top. Then we are going to start by doing some scoring. Bring the scoreboard in. Ooh, bringing in a cable with it. Okay, can you see the top of that? Let me just lift you up a little bit. There we go. You can see the wallpaper as well, but never mind. So this is our liner bit, as I said. We measure 7 15/16 by 5 3/16, so do check those out on my website. And we're just going to score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Okay. Then we need some dapper denim bits for the box and the rest of the wrap. So we have 2 bits. The base bit is the larger bit here is for the wrap. That's 6.5 inches by 8 inches, and this bit, which is for the box bit, is 8 by 5.25 inches. So let's start with this bit first, and we'll also score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. Okay. And then this bit, which you can see I've just rounded the edges off. We're going to score this along the long side at 3.5 inches. And sorry, 3.5 inches. Oops, did that wrong. And 4.5 inches. Okay, imagine that line's not there. Let's ignore that. We'll put that on the bottom so you won't see it anyway. Okay, let's start building this up. Bring this in, and a bone folder is here. It hasn't disappeared. I thought it had. So let's just fold those. Make sure you fold it across around the right lines if you scored in the wrong place. So we'll just fold and burnish those 2 score lines to begin with. And I don't know if I said it, but I've rounded off those corners there just to make that. Let me just bring the camera up properly again. There we go. Rounded off those 4 corners already. Okay. See how it's coming to shape very quickly. These 2 pieces are going to be our box, so let's just start by folding and burnishing along those edges. I do like this dapper denim colour. It's to begin with, I just thought it was a bit like what we already had in some ways, but it's a really nice colour. It's not as harsh as Night of Navy, and it's not as bright as Pacific Point. It's a really lovely blue colour. I think it works really well here. So we've folded and burnished all those, and we are ready to do some cutting. So these are my scissors. We are just going to cut at what you've created is a little, can you see? Hopefully you can see in this light. There we go. a little square in each corner, and all we're going to do is just cut up one of those lines there and notch them out, 1, 2, and do that on each corner. Further up there, 2, up this corner, there we go, 1, 2, notch them out, and then the last one here, notch and notch. Okay, and then we can do exactly the same on the dapper denim piece. So cut up and notch out, cut up, notch out, notch out, notch out. Okay, right, now we can start building it up. And to make the box, we're just going to make this up as you would any really simple box. So a bit of fuse on the back of each of those tabs. There we go. And then you just fold those up inside each other to make up your sort of box tray, whatever you call it, really simply. Okay. Then for our liner, which I folded and burnished the wrong way, never mind. I'm going to fold up like this. And in this case, we are going to put the glue on the top side, so the printed side, the stamp side. Put some fuse on each of those corners. Okay, and then these are going to fold up and stick on the outside. Okay, you see like that? So that means that when we fold it up, we don't see those joins in the corner, we just see the beautiful paper. We don't get those tabs sticking down. There we go, one there, and oh, that was a bit close, wasn't it? A bit of a close-up, my hand. Okay, and then this, hopefully this is the heart in the mouth moment, should then fit perfectly inside our box, which it does. So you see how we get that really lovely lined look. Okay, what I like to do is just pop a little bit of Tombow down the sides, and this will just hold it in place. But as you see, it's a really nice tight fit, so it kind of stays in by itself, but this just makes sure that it does. Okay, a little bit of Tombow down the gap, and just squeeze that together. Okay, a little bit more on this side. Just stops it gaping open a little bit. Okay, so you can take your time and hold that together. Okay, all that we have to do now is start building this up, our wrap. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, let's use Tombow, gives you a bit of wiggle room to get it in the right position. Okay, just like that. Flip that over. Oh, firstly we need to put some ribbon on. Oh, hold that, hold that, hold that. Don't dry too quickly, Tombow. So let's bring in our ribbon, and we want to give ourselves enough excess to be able to tie a nice bow. So I'm just going to use a glue dot to, in the middle, roughly the middle of our box, to just hold that ribbon in place on both the top and the bottom. A bit there, hold that in place there. Okay, and then we can stick our liner that we've Tombowed up on top. Just nicely frame that in the centre of your lid. Because we use Tombow, we get a little bit of wiggle room, especially if you don't leave it to dry like I did, because you forget about your ribbon. Then just bring in your box and a bit of Tombow on the base, and a bit of Tombow on one side that is going to be your back. So make sure you get that right with the pattern going to be the right way when you open it. And all we're going to do is line up the back of our box against the score line that we made. So what's going to be the joint, and then that can push up and just give it a moment to stick to the side as well as the base. And hey presto, we are pretty much there. So we can trim off our ribbon, there we go. Tie that in a pretty bow. I'm not sure there is such a thing as a pretty bow on camera, but I'll tie it in a bow. I can at least try that. Oh, upside down, but you get the impression. And there we go. 2 very beautiful, very pretty lined gift boxes that I think will go down really well. And I think they really showcase that beautiful petals. Paisleys and Posies stamp set is what it's called. And it shows how you can make regular DSP patterns as well as random ones. Hope you enjoyed it and give it a go. If I can help with anything, do not hesitate to get in touch, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.